This is Toss Talk, where it's all about yard games, having fun, and what it takes to create social entertainment. With your host and creator, Kelvin, on Toss Tunes Radio.
Hey, what is up? And welcome back to another episode of Toss Talk. And today we are chatting with yard game enthusiast Matt Grear. Yes, you may know him from his incredibly popular Instagram page, Yard Games World. You see him on TikTok. Matt was one of the first people to reach out to me when I started this podcast. Stoked on the games. I'm glad I've gotten to connect with this guy, but now he has his own book coming out. That's what we're here to chat about. The world's greatest backyard games. Yes, he laid it out, did his own research, compiled all the best games for you guys in a nice, easy to read, tabletop, coffee style book, and I'm stoked to get it. It's out now. I want you guys to check this out, but we'll get some behind the scenes stories in this chat. So I'm stoked on it. Links are in the show notes. Check him out. Check him out on TikTok, Instagram, follow, do all those fun things. But hey guys, let's get into this chat.
Kelvin. How are we doing? It's a long time coming, right?
I know, right, man? It's good to hear from you.
I know. It's been 2 years since we've been starting to talk now, and finally we got that chance to jump on the podcast.
I know, man. It's taken forever for you to get your book up and running. I'm glad it's finally coming out.
Hey, I'm a perfectionist, all right? I'm a perfectionist, so we're taking it nice and easy and make sure everything's right.
Yes, I love that, man. Yeah, well, welcome. I know you've been listening to the podcast a lot. I've been on a little bit of a break, so I'm excited for this episode because this is going to jump right back into a nice little season of podcasting for me.
It sure will. I guarantee it'll bring a bunch of new followers.
Yes. Oh, man, let's just hop right into it, though. I know we've been chatting a lot, and I'm excited for this book that you have coming out. Tell the people a little bit about it. How'd you get into it? Who's creating it with you? And why'd you end up creating a yard game book?
Yeah, sure. Well, the story dates back about 5 years ago. And I'm a big traveler, and I was with my buddies. We were actually in Amsterdam. We were taking a little ride through the park, and I saw these guys playing a game. It kind of caught my eye. So I went over there, checked it out, asked them what it was, asked them if I could try it, and I loved it. And it happened to be this game called Coob. And for those that don't know the game, it's starting to catch some popularity in the United States, but it's in my book, so you could read about it there. But
nice.
Yeah, so when I got back home to the States, I started doing some research. I'm like, what is this game? What other games are out there that I don't even know about? So I started doing research, and it occurred to me wow, there's a lot of other games. Let's and I heard, and that's the aha moment. And from there I knew this was something I wanted to accomplish, and I kind of took it from there. So started 5 years ago now. And you said who's in my business, but my business is kind of three-headed right now. So I have my book, and then I started my Yard Games account on Instagram, and now I'm starting to get into tournaments, I guess. Tournaments, and I wouldn't say league play, but that I see how you run your bocce league, and it's pretty appealing to me. I don't know. One day I'd like to get into that, but all this other stuff is keeping me busy right now. But yeah, I mean, as far as the Yard Games account goes, that's just all of it is pretty much just me. but I do have to give a lot of credit to my girlfriend, Kelly. She puts up with a lot. We live in a very small, I give her a lot of credit. I'll take her out to a nice dinner just to keep her happy. But we have a small apartment, and yard games are bursting at the seams. But every single picture or video, she's the brains behind the operation, and she's taking those videos.
That is awesome, bro. Yeah, you've been killing it. I love the Instagram. I love seeing you post about new games and just seeing a different take because, things that I post out and stuff that I've been doing, I have a one-sided view, so it's just nice seeing a different view and somebody else taking to just all the games.
Yeah, no, I love how we have that kind of combo where it's like our own different flavor. We're kind of promoting the same games for the most part, but I have a little bit of my flavor and you have your own, and we kind of complement each other, and we're able to help all those game companies out.
Yes. It's very exciting. So more on the book. What version are you on from the original version of it? I mean, you said it's taken a while. Like how many edits did it take?
Oh my God, too many to count. But I mean, that's how it goes. There's over 25 games in it, but there's so much work that goes into it that I didn't expect, right? Besides just the language and the punctuation and just making sure everything sounds right. Then you got the pictures, and you got to make sure you're not stealing an image. There's, you have to have, there's stock photos that you could pay subscription fees to find photos, but then you could have your own original photos.
Okay.
And then even the sales approach where, you reach out, you find cool images and you reach out and ask them can I use this? So there's just a lot of different, there's a lot of work that goes into it. So I couldn't give you a number. It's well over 20 at least, over
good.
20. So, I mean, a lot of work went into it though.
I hear you, man. I mean, just from creating my product and everything, there's a lot of edits and reiterations that come. It's crazy. So I understand with the book. I get it.
Right, and you're up there and getting your product out there too, and it's just you get anxious. You just want to get your baby out to the world, right?
Yes, it's hard to have some patience. I've learned a lot of patience lately, but yeah, it's definitely trying at times.
Yeah, I mean that's what. Yeah, patience is one thing, but the good thing is what we're doing is all around yard games, and it's all about fun. So it's just at the end of the day, you make sure you have fun with it, and that's kind of why I got into it in the first place.
I love that, man, and keeping that vibe alive, that's exactly what I want just for the entire yard game community, because it is fun. And as long as you're having fun, I mean, yard games are going to be sticking around. My last couple league nights has been crazy for me since I wasn't able to actually hire anybody else, and I was doing it all myself. But at the end of the night, I saw everybody having fun with it and all the games, and I was just it was kind of worth me sweating for a little bit to set all this up because everybody just had a blast. So
yeah, that's great to hear. And I'm sure they appreciate it, and they acknowledge all the hard work you're putting into it to make their night. So
yeah. So back onto the book. How many games did you have listed in it?
So I'm not going to give you an exact number,
okay.
But it's over 25 games.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, and
that.
They were handpicked by the one and only and researched from head to toe to make sure that they really are one of the world's greatest backyard games, and that's the name of the book. So they're good, they're the good ones.
Nice. I like that. What was the most challenging part about creating the book and possibly just like picking the games?
Well, honestly, for me, it was just putting my butt in the seat and writing. Like, I'd sit down, and it's not necessarily a writer's block. It's just like, I want to be outside playing these games, or I want to be outside doing something, or, I have a busy schedule. So it was really just trying to work it into my schedule. I get home from work, I'm tired, I go to the gym, and then it's like, okay, now I have to write, but I don't really want to. So that was the hard part. But once I sat down and got writing, I jumped right into it, because I want to,
Yeah.
like I like writing is a lot of fun. I enjoy writing. This was my first book, so it did take a little getting used to, but it's about a topic I care about and that I'm passionate about. I love card games, but but really what I'm passionate about is connecting people across the world. And that's kind of one of my missions, is really to, promote and educate about these cool games, but really connect yard game players from across the world. And I honestly, just through the research and the Instagram, I've been able to talk to a ton of great people. I've even been invited to the Coob World Championships,
Nice.
like out in Sweden, or I think it's in Finland this year. And Mulkey has something out there, and I've talked to people in New Zealand, Asia, all over the world, and it's just so cool because we're just a bunch of people that like playing games.
I love that. I feel you on that. I've been connecting with a lot of people myself, just via Instagram, not even really like on all other social platforms. And it's cool that we have that opportunity to do that with a sport, or just like with games in general.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what it does. Like, games really, they date back to the Egyptians and Mesopotamians, even before that, like board games they had. And it's a way to connect people, and it's so cool. I've actually been fortunate enough to even meet a lot of, switching gears from the book to the Yard Games account, I've met and made friends with a lot of the inventors and the creators. Randomly, I was out on a bachelor party in Salt Lake City, and I met with the creator of a game, and he took me out to a park, and we had a beer and played a game. It was a great moment. So I just want to keep that going.
That is awesome. Back onto the book, how do you plan on getting it out to everybody? Is it going to be like ebook, or are you going direct to consumer in stores? What's going on with that?
Yeah, no, great question. And this is, the most important, but I want your listeners to be able to find it, right? So,
Of course.
I have a website. It's yardgamesworld.com, and that's pretty much the first thing you see. It's the holy grail right there, the world's greatest backyard games. I sell it right on my website, but I really want to hit it at all, at every approach possible. So it's on Amazon. My publisher has a website, prensa.press. It's going to be on bookshop.org. And we also have a distributor that is putting it out to all the different bookstores around the nation.
Nice. And what would you say is like the main like premise behind the book? Is it just showcasing the history of the games, or just more like a how-to?
Yeah, it's actually a little bit of both. I definitely talk about how to play the game, but it's meant as more of an educational tool. It talks about the history. There's a lot of cool, fun little facts about it. And then, honestly, it would be a good coffee table book with great pictures, interesting like angles and photos of the games being played. And yeah, it touches on all of that, which is exactly what I set out to do.
I love that, man. I love that. All right, guys. I hope you're enjoying the show so far. We'll be right back after this short break. Hey, if you like yard games and you're an avid golfer, you're going to love this game. It is called Chip Down. You heard it right, Chip Down. This game will not only help you practice your chipping, but it's a fun game that you could take anywhere, to the beach, and you could even play it indoors. Who doesn't love practicing some chipping, especially indoors? This game is available right now. Use promo code TOSS, that's all caps TOSS, and get yourself 10% off your order of Chip Down. You are going to love this game. It all comes in a nice package, even with some nice turfs that you could play, practice anywhere. So get yourself on Chip Down. Links are in the show notes. Promo code TOSS. Enjoy. All right, so welcome back. Let's get back into this chat. What would you say was the hardest game to do like research on?
So, I had to whittle down the list considerably. Like in my research, I found all kinds of games that were so fun, and some were like too similar to others, so I kind of had to chop it because it kind of get redundant. But two of the games that I found that were like I loved so much. One was called Ulu Maika from Hawaii, and it's similar to a game out there now, but you basically roll a rock disc and you have to get it between two pegs, and it seemed just so cool and so fun. But there just wasn't a lot of information. And also on top of that, like I reached out to the Hawaiian tourist board and they couldn't get me the pictures for whatever reason. But it's a very cool game. And if I ever do a version 2, I will spend as much time as I can to get that game in there. And then there's another game called Kimbamba from Mexico. And
interesting.
Yeah, I did a fair amount of research trying to find, enough to give it some bulk, because I found facts here and there, but not enough to cover a whole page. And that was probably the biggest challenge. And there's a couple other games like that, but yeah, that was the hardest. Those were two of the hardest games to research.
I like that. Yeah, actually, I haven't really heard of those games, so I'm excited to actually dive in and see what those games are about. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I got plenty more just like that ideally the common person has never heard of, and it'll just open up their eyes to how cool and fun the other parts of the world are having with the art games.
Very cool, man. I'm very excited for that, and I will definitely be promoting and getting it out. Let's move on to some random questions. Let the listeners get to know you a little bit better.
Great.
All right, so question number 1. What is your favorite side dish at a cookout?
Ooh, that is a great question. I'm burger all day at the cookout, obviously, but on the side, we actually just had one on Father's Day yesterday. So we did the corn on the cob on the grill. And what's the best part about that is you get in the little skewer and you can still play yard games with one hand and you can eat with your other hand. So you don't have to sit down and play. So it's, you can eat corn on the cob. Final answer.
I love that. Question number 2. What is your favorite backyard game to play? There's so many.
Oh my God. I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to do this to me.
Of course.
I knew you were going to put me on the spot there, So I got to give the disclaimer, blah, blah, blah. I love them all. No, I love all the games. I really do. And I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but I'm going to go with, I have to go with the game that inspired me to write the book, and that's Coob. It is, it's a game that takes precision with throwing, takes a little bit of strategy, and it just hits all. And also you could play with a beer in your hand. So and on top of that, you can play with as many people as you want. So it's very inclusive. It really hits almost all the major factors that I think that a yard game should include.
Nice. Yes, I do love that game. And you said you wanted to start a Coob League, so that'd be very exciting for you.
Yeah, I did mention that to you, and I will be touching base with you about how your bocce's run, just because I think it'd be really cool. I've seen them popping up. Obviously, it's really big in Minnesota and Wisconsin, but I've seen a couple Coob Leagues near Boston. I've seen them I saw a couple of people playing it in the Commons, and I just think it would be a great game to get people going.
Yeah, I've actually seen it played a lot more these days. I mean, I'm in like a beach town, and I'm seeing it a lot more just pop up randomly on the beach, more than I've ever seen it before. So I feel like it's catching on a little bit. Yeah,
well, that's great to hear. I mean, I hope so. It's a game that, it's made out of wood, so it's all sustainable. It's just, they have a lot of good factors that go into that game.
All right. Question number 3. Would you rather vacation at the beach, in the mountains, or in the city?
Another good question. Well, I grew up in a big city. I'm from Chicago, so I don't need to. I as much as I enjoy going to big ones, don't need to do that. I live on the beach here in Boston, and I'm kind of just too ADD to sit still on a beach and lay around. So I'm going mountains all day. I actually, my girlfriend and I, we go up to the White Mountains, and our goal is to hike all 48 4,000 footers in New Hampshire.
Awesome. I've seen some of the pictures. That looks very cool. Looks like a fun time, man.
Yeah, it's more difficult than it sounds. I mean, 4,000 feet doesn't sound like a lot, but believe me, it's the Appalachian Trail. It's rocky and aggressive. So I actually already broke my finger on one of the hikes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sick. Oh man.
Yeah.
Question number. Yeah. We'll save that. We'll dive into that another time. All right. Question number 4. What was your favorite fun fact that you found during your research on a yard game?
All right. Well, I don't want to give too much away because
okay.
There's a full book, but I'd be happy to give a little preview of some of the stuff you could find, and we'll do a classic. Let's see. So Croquet. Croquet is a great game. Dates back a long time. One of the craziest things that I read. Well, it was originally played by peasants, and then as we know it, it kind of grew into this prestigious game sport, and it required people to wear white sweaters and white hats and things like that. It was actually in the Olympics, and it was also banned in Boston in the late 1890s because it was associated with gambling and drinking. So it really went through the whole cycle of started with peasants, it was this, and then it was banned, and then there's rules about what you had to wear and associate. Yeah. So it's a very fascinating game, and I get into a little bit more of the details in the book there.
That's very cool. I like it. I'm excited to read this thing, man. And speaking of books, last question. What is the most influential book you've read?
Not too long ago, I read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Nice. Yeah.
It puts into perspective like how to work hard. It talks about General Motors and Ford and how they grew. Touches on that, but honestly, it really helped me just frame my mindset and how to just get in a good put me in a position to be successful. So I highly recommend that. But other than that, I'm currently reading a great book. It's called the 16th Round. Awesome book. There's a movie made about it with Denzel Washington.
Okay, I know what you're talking about because I was like, that sounds very familiar.
Yeah. And it's about Reuben the Hurricane Carter. He's a boxer that went to jail for he was innocent and he went to jail, and it's kind of about his life, and it's a great book. Funny, I've done like 2 book reports on it like back in like grade school and never finished the book. So now I'm making it a point to finish it.
Nice. I like that. I'll have to check it out, actually, the book, because I think I'm pretty sure I saw the movie, but sounds like interesting.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
All right, that's it. We got to get to know you a little bit. I like that. Good answers, bro.
Appreciate it.
All right, I just have a few more questions for you. So now that the book is done, looking back, what is one thing that you want your readers to take away from the book?
I kind of touched on it before, but I really want to stress the point of the book is just to open up people's eyes about the cultures around the world. And I just, I want people to learn about games that people enjoy. And I'm just a real open-minded person. So I'll try anything that looks fun. And that's what I want people to do is get outside, try some cool new games that they've never heard of or played, or learn about some new things. And, I think video games are great, but I love being outside, and I want to encourage people to get outside and play more.
Yes, I love that. Encourage people to get outside and play, man. That's basically why I started. And I just wanted to show people that there's more than just a normal cornhole and bocce and some other games out there. So yeah, this is exciting. I love it. Yeah,
I mean, people like you and me, just it's tough at times to bring a group of people together. And people are busy these days, and they work and family and this and that, and it's just nice when you could get a good group of people out to barbecue, play some yard games, and enjoy some beer.
Yes.
Or pop or whatever, or soda.
Yes. Yeah, man, I know. Now that COVID's over, I mean, I'm excited I got all my leagues back up and running. So, yeah, it's good time. It's a good time.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that must have been, probably a nice break, but, I know I do a bunch of leagues out here. First of all, thanks for pushing our little combo back a little bit. Our volleyball game went a little long, but
did you at least win the game?
Yeah. We won a fun, I think, 0-6 this year. Not the best year, but
man.
yeah. But we'll get them next year.
Oh, good.
But yeah, just talking to the other, like, the people that own the league and whatnot, and they're just struggling. I know someone tried to do a virtual, like, video game, like Madden league, and it's just it's tough. It's tough. If that's your business, it's tough.
It really is. And like, speaking of that too, like, I've been, unfortunately, that people love bocce and like gotten people to come back out and play. But I've struggled to actually implement like different games, because like, and I've like wanted to start like a yard game league, but that happened and then COVID hit, so that was kind of scrapped. But it's hard getting people to play like new games out there.
Yeah, no, it really is, because you finally get people to the area. They don't want to take time learning the game, or like some people are scared to be bad at something and they just want to jump into something they know. But I'm with you. I want to start like a yard game thing up here, and it'll be tough. It's challenging. But I think once they see it, once they actually give it a shot, like I think they're going to really enjoy it, and it'll start catching fire soon one of these days.
Well, yeah, man, I'm happy to work with you and chat more, and yeah, I'll be definitely down to get this yard game league started, because I have a ton of places where it could work, and there's so many games out there. It's just very cool for somebody to come out and play like a new game every week in like a league format. So I'm excited.
Yeah. No, for your bocce, do you do it on you do it at a bar or?
Yeah, so I do it at a brewery where they have like a lot of grass out in their lawn area, and then there's one bar that I do it at the oceanfront that is like a outdoor gaming type bar, and they have bocce courts there, and then I bring some extra bocce courts and set that up.
I love the outdoor gaming type bars. Those are my absolute favorite. I really think it's like, I hope they start popping up more. I know of a few in Chicago, and there's a couple somewhat similar spots, but those, I really hope they just start popping up all over.
Yeah, I think they will. It really does suck that COVID kind of happened, because it kind of ruined the restaurant industry a little bit, and businesses, because I work at the business office for Virginia Beach, and businesses have been kind of struggling, have been closing a lot, so it might take a little bit to recover. But that being said, there have been some more outdoor gaming bars popping up, so I'm excited to see what the future holds.
Yeah, the only good thing that came out of COVID for us was more outdoor seating. There's not a lot of patios up in here, and they now pretty much opened up, like they closed off these parts of the streets and whatnot so there could be seating, and they left that up, and I'm like so excited about that.
Nice. I like that. Oh man, it's been fun chatting with you. I feel like I can chat with you like all night. We can have like an hour-long podcast.
Oh, for sure.
Oh man. But I just have one more question for you. As a yard game entrepreneur now, what is your mantra or quote or inspiration that you're living by that gets you up and ready to play and promote and sell your book every single day?
Yeah. So there's two that I live by. I don't know who said this first one, but it's better to aim high and miss than aim low and hit. And I feel strongly about that. It's just, reach for your dreams, set your goals high, and don't worry about if you miss. You'll learn from your mistakes. And I definitely learned a lot along the way in my journey. And, it's helping me for my future. And I can't, and I just don't be lazy. Don't take the easy road, and just go for the go for the gold. So that's really helped me. That's how I really believe in that. But
I love that. Yeah, man, it is that is a really good quote to live by, and I think even for me personally, I've kind of measured up to that, because I love like making a bunch of plans and doing a bunch of setting like a lot of tasks. But then, you won't quite actually do everything, but you do a good amount. And just setting that task makes you reach that really good amount. So, yeah, aim high, but may not come up right away, but you'll get stuff done.
That's right. No, that's awesome. And the other one, I actually Uh, believe it or not, I learned from TikTok. But
TikTok's popping. Don't knock
there we
it.
go. I'm all on board with the TikTok, but no, it's like a pump up account for like football or something,
Okay.
and it was this a Georgia Tech football coach. He said, lazy people do a little work and they think they should be winning, but winners work as hard as possible and still worry if they are being lazy. And that's how I feel. Like I worry all the time. It's like, am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? And like, I sometimes, get down on myself because I don't think I'm doing enough, but I think it's just a great quote for anyone who works hard. They're always achieving their goals, and they set the bar higher and higher and higher. And I've just loved that quote.
Yes, I love that as well. Yeah, that's perfect. I know for me personally that I like to think I'm the hardest working lazy person.
Hey, work smarter, not harder, right?
Yeah, for real. But man, it is I'm glad we got to do this finally.
Yeah,
it's been a while in the making.
it's my dream has been come true. I remember when we first started talking, and I think I found out about you through your podcast, and I was just like, man, one day I'll be on that show, and what am I gonna say like when he asks these questions? And
yes.
I don't know if it was the same way as I planned it, but I think I had a blast, and it was so much fun doing it.
Yes, man. I love it. Yeah, because we've been chatting forever, and you've just been promoting and been all aboard about the podcast from the start. So yeah, it's exciting that it's coming full circle now.
Yeah, and I can't wait. I mean, I know we're going to be working together again soon on something or other, and
yes,
but I appreciate it. I just want to say that the book is officially coming out July 1st, and like as I mentioned, you could get it at yardgamesworld.com, Amazon, or Prensa.press. And yeah, I hope everyone, I hope everyone enjoyed this podcast because I sure did. And hopefully, get out there and play some games. It's gorgeous out. Summer's here.
Yes, summer is here, and I'm excited. I'll have all those links in the show notes. Let me know if you want me to put anything else in there, and I will be promoting, creating an ad for you, and pushing out some yard games, man. I love this. Congratulations.
Let's do it. Let's make these guys that work so hard some money. That's my goal. I love helping small businesses, and they're all great people.
Yes, hopefully we'll inspire a volume 2. That'd be great.
Volume 2, I'll have to collaborate with you. You'll be a co-writer with me.
Let's do it, man. I'm stoked.
All right, Calvin. What a great time, and I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you later, man. Peace.
All right, bye.
That was Matt Grear, creator of the book, The World's Greatest Backyard Games. Check it out. Links are in the show notes. Get yourself a copy. Learn all the new games. And yeah, I know a lot of games, but I don't claim to know every single game. So it is cool when other people do their research, find some games, and even when they DM me, they're like, have you seen this game? I'm like, no, but this is awesome. So I'm excited to see what he found and some fun facts behind it, because this is why I started to share new games with you guys, share people in the industry, and somebody that's listened to the podcast from the start has took it upon himself to create a product, a book, information for you guys that is awesome, and I'm excited to share it with you. So check him out. Links will be in the show notes. Follow him on Instagram. He's funny on TikTok. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.